Thank you very much. So yes, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this meeting, and thank you again for joining today. As you know, my name is Dr. Julia Blocher, and I'm serving as chair of this meeting. Today, we are hosting a very important historical meeting that would be the founding General Assembly of the International Youth Federation, constituted as an association under the Swiss Civil Code, Articles 60 and sequential, with a seat in the canton of Geneva in Switzerland. I confirm that this meeting is being held by video conference, and under the Swiss Civil Code as amended, virtual General Assemblies are fully permitted, provided that all of the participants are duly identified, deliberations are transmitted in real time, and each participant can actively participate in the discussions and votes. So unless someone objects otherwise, I see that all of these conditions have been met today. So I would like to confirm the attendance now. Present as voting members include myself, Dr. Julia Blocher, joining from the United States of America, Anita Pavic, joining from the Republic of Croatia, Elizabeth Sargent, joining from the United Kingdom, and Lucy Miller, joining from the United Kingdom as well. And also present in a non-voting capacity, we have His Excellency Saeed Zaki, who is joining from the Republic of Sudan, and Naremer Perret. Is it Perret or Perret? I would say Perret, joining from Switzerland. Okay, fantastic. So I confirm that a quorum of 4 voting members is present, and I therefore declare the founding General Assembly of the International Youth Federation duly constituted and open. Excellency Zaki, please note the time of the meeting. And we proceed now to item 2, which is the purpose and objectives of this meeting. So before we proceed to the formal agenda items, I would like to take a moment to explain why we are here today. The International Youth Federation has been working to empower young people worldwide since its founding. And today marks a significant milestone as we are formally constituting the IYF as a Swiss association under the Swiss Civil Code, with its seat in the canton of Geneva, as mentioned. And this gives our organization the international and institutional standing that it deserves, a legal home in Switzerland, one of the world's most respected jurisdictions for international organizations. Every agreement, partnership, and grant application we make going forward will now carry the weight of Swiss law behind it. So our purpose remains exactly what has always been, which is to empower young people worldwide through youth leadership, skills development, and participation in policy and governance, actually. And now for item 3 on our agenda, we will adopt the statutes. So I will invite His Excellency Ambassador Saeed Zaki to present the statutes of the International Youth Federation. Thank you, Ambassador Zaki.
Thank you very much. I will be happy to walk you through last statute, the new founding charter, and let's go through it. So 6 total articles, starting from the name and seat, membership, governance, commissions, finance, and then rights and internal regulations as such. Chapter 1 covers the very basic information, the official name, which comes in the 5 languages. The seat will be the canton of Geneva. 9 objectives in total, starting from youth leadership, skills governance, technical, skills, information, awareness around youth issues, communication and recognition for youth NGOs. It's a non-for-profit, educational, social, and sustainable development. Duration is unlimited, with English adopted as an official language for this organization. There is 4 categories of members: staff members, individual members, and contributors, representatives, and honorary members. The registration is of memberships are mandatory under Article 61, Clause A, section CC, including names, addresses, and that should be returned for 5 years after the deregistration for the record. Safeguarding is one of the, as we deal with young people, executive board will be adopting a safeguarding policy. It will be comprehensive, covering all protection aspects for young and vulnerable communities. Resignations accepted with 6 months notice from the association, and obligations, as mentioned, is active participations plus any duties that will be adopted by the elected board. Next, in chapter 3, covers two supreme bodies, the General Assembly, including all of you here today, and then elected executive board, which is independent from the management branch. It's fully independent, so all of members of the executive board will not have management positions. Voting is basically by simple majorities, 2/3 required for big amendments on the status. Conflict of interests will be adopting a policy on that very clearly, including also whistleblowing with the designation of the right channels for any reports related to any wrongdoing. Executive board is a governing body, the association, overseeing the strategy, finance, legal, and compliance. Secretary General will be managing day-to-day work of the association, and the Swiss representative will be the official representative and the authorized official who signs on behalf of the organization according to Article 69, Section 2 of the Swiss Civil Code. Moving on to chapter 4 and 5, we'll have the association will have several professional commissions, including nominations, marketing, learning, public information, international relations, finance and audit, and others. And the chairs will be appointed by the executive board. Regional administrations, the association will be represented by regional bodies across different regions. On partnerships, we'll adopt multi-level partnerships starting from local, regional, and international partners. The association may convene congress or big forums by recommendation with no binding decisions to discuss youth issues. Goodwill ambassadors will also be appointed by the association. Moving to chapter 5 on finance, source of income and revenue for the association will be coming from donations, grants, and other financial sources allowed by the law. Financial year will start from January to December. Membership fees will be adopted as applicable. Signing authority on behalf of the association will be by the president and secretary general. Others may be delegated and be authorized to sign on behalf of the executive board. Audit threshold, according to the Swiss law, in case of 2 of 3 conditions achieved, the revenue exceeded 10 million Swiss franc, or 20 million with 50 employees. Below this, a simple accounting is enough as per the law. The last chapter addressing rights for the association to implement its activities, including the work through different commissions. The next section on the amendment, which is, as mentioned just moments ago, 2/3 required for any amendments on the core statute. Dissolving the organization also required 2/3 majority. The law which is governing the association is the Swiss Civil Code, Article 60, and the applicable law of the Canton of Geneva. Internal regulations will be adopted accordingly in the following sessions, including membership details, commission structures, and details of the delegated authorities to the management branch of the organization. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. So we have now reviewed all 6 chapters of the statutes, which were on the screen, but just to summarize, Chapter 1 is in regards to the name, seat, and purpose and duration of the organization. Chapter 2 in regards to membership. Chapter 3 in regards to governance. Chapter 4 in regards to commissions, regional bodies, and partnerships. Chapter 5 regards finance and audit. And finally, Chapter 6 is in regards to rights, amendments, internal regulations, and dissolution. Does anyone present have any questions or additional proposed amendments to the statutes? And if so, you can raise your hand and take the microphone. I see shaking heads no. So if there's no further questions, I put these statutes to a vote. All those in favor of adopting the statutes might raise your hand and say aye to confirm your vote.
Aye.
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 And aye also. So this is 4 votes in favor. The statutes are adopted unanimously and they enter into force with immediate effect. So set and decided. Now we proceed to item 4 on the agenda, which is the election of the executive board. I will present each candidate, and each candidate will briefly confirm verbally their acceptance and independence before we then vote. So I would like to note then under Article 16 of our statutes, all executive board members serve in their individual and personal capacity, free from any governmental or institutional mandate. The IYF maintains its full independence from any governmental or political authority. So the candidates for the executive board are as follows. Myself, Dr. Julia Blocher, nominated as president. So I hereby confirm my acceptance of this nomination and my commitment to serve in my individual and personal capacity. Next, Anita Pavic, will you please confirm your acceptance of the nomination as treasurer?
I accept.
Fantastic. Elizabeth Sargent, please confirm your acceptance of the nomination as a member of the executive board.
I accept. Thank you.
Wonderful. And Lucy Miller, please confirm your acceptance of a nomination as a member of the executive board.
Yeah, I accept.
Thank you. So all candidates have confirmed their acceptance, and I now put this to a vote. All those in favor of electing the above named persons as the executive board of the International Youth Federation, please raise your hand and turn on your microphone and say aye to confirm your vote.
Aye.
Any against or abstentions? No. I also aye. The executive board is elected unanimously. Congratulations to all members and welcome on board. Just to summarize, the members are myself, Julia Blocher, Anita Pavic, Elizabeth Sargent, and Lucy Miller. So set and decided. Now, item 5, the appointment of the Secretary General. I would now like to recommend the appointment of His Excellency Said Zaki as Secretary General of the International Youth Federation. Under Article 20 of our statutes, the Secretary General is the chief executive of the association, responsible for its management and operational leadership under the oversight of the executive board. The Secretary General is not a member of the executive board. He attends the meetings by standing invitation, presents reports, and implements our decisions, but doesn't have voting authority on any governance manner. This model reflects best practice in international organizations, and the same separation of governance and management is used by many different major international organizations. So the Secretary General's authority comes from his executive mandate, not from a board seat. So, Your Excellency, please confirm your acceptance of the mandate of Secretary General and acknowledge your role as an independent chief executive reporting to the executive board.
I accept. Thank you.
Fantastic. So now voting members, all those in favor of appointing Ambassador Said Zaki as Secretary General of the International Youth Federation, please raise your hand and say aye to confirm your vote.
Aye.
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 Aye. No abstentions or votes against. So Ambassador Said Zaki is appointed Secretary General unanimously. Welcome and congratulations, Your Excellency. So set and decided. Now to item 6 on our agenda, which is the Swiss representative of the association. Under Swiss law, and specifically Article 69, paragraph 2 of the Swiss Civil Code, as amended in 2023, any association registered with the commercial registrar must have at least one person domiciled in Switzerland with signing authority. So I'm pleased to confirm that Nariama Perret-Gieneret, a Swiss national domiciled in Geneva in Switzerland, has kindly agreed to serve as our Swiss representative of the International Youth Federation. Nariama is a valued member of our network, and her support makes this registration possible. So as Swiss representative, Ms. Perret would hold individual signing authority for purposes of the commercial registrar, and she is not a governance decision maker and bears no personal liability for the association's obligation. So we can now put this nomination to a vote. The executive board hereby resolves to appoint Nariama Perret as a Swiss representative of the International Youth Federation with individual signing authority in accordance with Article 22 of the Statutes. All those in favor, please raise your hands and say aye.
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 Aye. I see there are no votes against or abstentions. So for the record, the Swiss representative is appointed unanimously. Ms. Perret of Geneva, Suisse, so set and decided. Congratulations. Now to item 7, which is the registered office of the association, which is confirmed as follows. The International Youth Federation, the Fédération Internationale de la Jeunesse, is at Cour des Bastions 13, so 13 Cour des Bastions, 1205 Genève, Suisse. This domiciliation is this address is a provider in place. So the domiciliation letter will bear the stamp of the 2 original signatures of the provider and will serve as the official attestation of the domiciliation for the commercial registrar in Switzerland. So all those in favor of confirming this registered office as stated previously, please raise your hand and say aye.
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 Aye. So our registered office in Switzerland is confirmed unanimously, so set and decided. Now to item number 8, which regards membership fees. Under Article 11C of our statutes, as His Excellency Ambassador Zaki mentioned a few minutes ago, membership fees are payable where applicable, which means that they are dormant until activated by the General Assembly. So we propose that no membership fees be levied at this founding stage. All those in favor of resolving that no membership fees are levied at this time, please raise your hand and say aye.
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 So this is resolved unanimously, and no membership fees will be created this time, but can still be determined by future General Assembly if and where applicable. So set and decided. Item 9 on the agenda regards the activity program. So I would now invite the Secretary General to give a brief overview of the association's planned activities for the coming period. Over to you, Your Excellency.
So a quick overview of our upcoming strategy covers the next 5 years, 2026 to 2030. Very massive global youth landscape, 1.8 billion young people, lots of issues and priorities, and from climate crisis to employment to digital priorities to inclusion, to so many issues we are committed to tackle. and support young people in every stage. The new strategy comes with a dual mandate, both empowering young people through building their capacities and also strengthening ecosystems through policy solutions for government and intergovernmental partners. Three main priority areas covered by the new strategy: youth leadership and engagement, innovation and skills development, and last priorities: policy, governance, and systems strengthening. Quite connected ecosystem from our representatives network to the regional administrations, to partnerships, to government partners, and all of these connected with partners from academia, from private sector, from the wider civil society as well. In our theory of change, by 2030, empowered, inclusive, and resilient people contributing to sustainable, peaceful, and prosperous society. This anchored through the three priority areas we just mentioned, using a group of enablers that allow us to reach that stage, from innovation to partnerships to finances, communications, learning and knowledge management, and organizational agility. Building on lessons learned from the past, plus adopting monitoring, evaluation, and learning module will help us move smoothly through future years, programs, and activities. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Very helpful, and the Assembly now takes note of this activity program. No vote is required at this time, so we acknowledge the activity program. So now on to item 10, which will be about the first ordinary General Assembly. Under Articles 18 of our statutes, we hereby commit to holding our first ordinary General Assembly within 6 months of today's founding meeting, which takes place on the 20th of July, 2026, if this was not said at the beginning. And the purpose of that General Ordinary Assembly would be to elect any remaining executive board members to reach our target of 5 to 7 members in total, as well as to address any outstanding issues that we may have at that time. So now we put to a vote that all in favor of resolving to hold the first Ordinary General Assembly within 6 months of today, please raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. This is resolved unanimously. So our first Ordinary General Assembly meeting should be held within 6 months. And Your Excellency, please note this date. So set and decided. Now on to item 11, which will be any other business. So does any other member of the Executive Board or non-voting members have any business to raise at this time?
No business, but is it possible to ask a question?
Of course.
I'm curious to know, if we go sort of 12 months from this date, what the top 3 priorities that we want to have delivered by mid next year, and the role that we as board members can play in making that happen or helping that to happen. And I can direct that at either the President or the Secretary General.
Yes, it's a very good question. So I think as you rightly point out, we do have a chance to discuss in the next executive board meeting what are our main priorities for the coming period, but within the let's say roadmap that His Excellency has now presented to us. However, I do think it is a very good idea that you raise, Elizabeth, that we would have some key marching orders, let's say, for shorter periods of time. So perhaps Ambassador Zaki might like to build on this, but I would suggest that this is a longer discussion to take place outside of the founding meeting, but certainly something we should put on the books very quickly.
Thank you. I would add very high level kind of things. So we have a revamped NGO module that will assist the accredited NGOs we have with us, leveling that up, the rollout of the global working group on youth policies, and the expansion of our young leadership development program to more countries and regions. Those could be like the three top B ticket items. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I would add to that, perhaps securing sustainable funding streams might be an additional top priority. But to decide on what our top priorities are, I think we should have an additional meeting. But I do appreciate and note with gratitude the ideas brought by Ambassador Zaki. Would anybody else like to present some ideas of top priorities for this board in the coming 12 months? Would any board members or non-voting members like to bring up any other business at this time? Fantastic. So we have now completed all the items on the agenda in exactly the time that we intended. So this is great. So on behalf of the International Youth Federation, I would like to thank each and every one of you for your time, for your commitment, and for, of course, your belief in what IOIF stands for, empowering youth. Today marks the beginning of a new chapter for our organization, as we are now formally constituted Swiss association with a strong governance structure, a clearly very dedicated executive board, and a clear strategic direction to then be finessed in future meetings. So the Secretary General and I will circulate the meeting minutes for your review, and I take it upon myself to note the votes that were taken today. And when you receive the meeting minutes, please sign them and return them so that we can complete the registration process formally. So I note the closing time now as 12:31 p.m. on the 20th of July, 2026, and hereby declare the founding General Assembly of the International Youth Federation closed.